G'day, welcome back to week 2 of the Premier League review. Now obviously in this review we're going to go through all the teams, all the results that played over the weekend and on Friday, where there was one game on the Friday which was brilliant because you can't get enough football. Now those of you that watch my Premier League preview, where I look forward to the Premier League fixtures next Saturday or the weekend coming, you'll know that I'm going to give my results and like who I think is going to play well that game. What I'll do, I'll end up putting a score prediction in the bottom corner for you guys to see, and I'll put it down in the comment section, all of the fixtures and all of my predictions of what I reckon the result's going to be, because I did get a couple of them right. I think I got the Watford score right. I said 2-1 to Chelsea, and obviously that ended up happening, so we'll obviously go through that in a second. But let me know what you think of that. Let's jump into it. The first game was on Friday. It was Manchester United at home to Southampton. Now obviously I said Ibrahimovic is probably going to score. It's probably the easiest one to call. He ended up getting on the score sheet twice. One of them a very, very controversial penalty. Luke Shaw going down in the box. If you've seen the clip, if you haven't, I will try and find it. I'll play it now. Now in that clip you can see he actually clips the back of his heel and goes down. I'm not sure if he gets pulled by his shirt. It's a controversial one, but Ibrahimovic popped the penalty home. Easy pen. That being his second goal of the game, that was a lovely penalty straight into the bottom left hand corner. Keeper no chance even if he went that way. But his first goal was a brilliant header fired down into the bottom corner from a cross from Rooney. I think it was in like the 36th minute. Brilliant header. There was Pogba and Ibrahimovic in the box. If you're going to have two players in the box that are tall, strong and can finish, it's going to be those two. United are looking strong this season. I have been asked over on Twitter what I think about United's Premier League title chances, and I've got to say, very high. They've got one of the best managers in the league, like Mourinho. He's won it before. He knows what you have to do to win it. You've got Ibrahimovic, you've got Pogba, you've got Eric Bailly, who's just come in to, you know, make their defence that little bit more solid. I do rate him. You've obviously got Luke Shaw back from injury. De Gea is just one of those keepers. He's just getting better and better because he's still young. Honestly, United, people don't want me to say it. One of my mates is a Liverpool fan, and he hates it whenever people bring up Man United and about them doing well, but they are a force this season, and we'll just have to see how they do in the big games coming. On to the first Saturday game that's just gone. It was Stoke against Manchester City. Now I called this to be a very tough challenge for City. Didn't end up proving that way, obviously, by the scoreline. But I feel like whenever you go to play Stoke, they're such a physical side. No one likes to play against them. So for City to smash 4 goals, I mean, it doesn't really tell the story, and we'll get there in a sec. You've got Aguero getting on the score sheet, scoring another 2 goals, and Nolito coming off the bench in the last like 15 minutes to grab 2 himself. But the major talking points were the 2 penalties, because Stoke got a penalty and City got a penalty. Now the penalty that got awarded to City was from Shawcross pulling back Otamendi's arm. Like, you can literally see him pulling it back. No question of a penalty there. I think it's great that refs are looking out for that this season. It needs to be implemented every single week. But there was a lot of controversy when it happened up the other end, when Sterling, so the ball's come in, say the ball's come across this way, so the ball's behind me, Sterling is looking this way at Shawcross and he's pushing him, he's not got his eyes on the ball whatsoever, as funny as that may look. It's a definite penalty. I don't know if you've seen that. I'll try and find a clip like I normally do. He's just got no intention to play the ball. If he's looking like this, if he's looking around looking for the ball, then fair enough. Fair enough, he's going for the ball. He's going to try and win it. But 1, why is Sterling marking Shawcross? And 2, why has he not got his eyes on the ball? Shawcross didn't appeal for the penalty, but he shouldn't have to. That's the ref's job to make his mind up. And he gave the pen. I think that's fair enough. Tell me your thoughts on that. Should it have been a penalty in your eyes? And then Nolito obviously came on in the last 20 minutes and the game just kind of changed. City were getting more dominant, going on the counter-attacks. Sterling just needs to learn to shoot more. He gets himself into these good positions and then just doesn't shoot. You're worth 50 million. Score some goals, Sterling. Iheanacho came on in the last 7 minutes as well. You think, what a pointless substitution, why bring him on? But he's quality. He's actually a great impact player. It's a shame he doesn't get more game time. It's just because obviously you've got Aguero on the pitch and starting. He done that dummy where a ball came over and he just left it. I think it was Shawcross that missed it, and then that's when Sterling went through, passed it to Nolito. I think that was for his 2nd goal. But I like Nolito. He's another player. He gets in good positions. He can score, even if it is a tap-in. Good impact player. And City walk away with an easy victory there at Stoke. Moving on now to Burnley against Liverpool. Now, if you're a Liverpool fan, you probably want to skip this part because you don't want to hear me say Burnley beat you 2-0. Now, I've got this smug look on my face because I know in my Premier League preview for this game, I said that they've got Sam Vokes and Andre Gray up front and they could cause problems. Did they cause problems? They both got on the score sheet. Now, you could argue Liverpool have got problems at the back, especially in the left-back position. James Milner actually started at left-back, in case you didn't know that. Now, if you didn't know that, he's not a left-back, alright? I mean, he might be better than Moreno, I don't know. I thought Liverpool were going to go there and after the victory against Arsenal, literally go all at them. Coutinho, even Sturridge played. I think he played right wing though. Again, that's not where you want him. Give me a sec, postman's just put something through the front door. Yeah, so as you can clearly see, James Milner starts left back. Hello, focus. Now, if you're a Liverpool fan, you're worried about that position because you need to sign someone quickly. The first goal was brilliantly worked. I mean, it was just a little bit of absolute brilliance from Sam Vokes. Now, I didn't actually know he had this in his locker. I didn't even know he could produce that. Andre Gray's passed it to him just outside the 18-yard box, probably just up above outside that D, and he's just turned and then just let one rip. It's just fired straight back of the net. Keeper had no chance. 2 minutes, Liverpool 1-0 down. They're asking questions already. What's going on?
And here is Gray now, looking to turn inside. It's Andre Gray!
And to make matters worse for Liverpool, they found themselves 2-0 down before half-time. Andre Gray getting the ball on the halfway line, literally just running at the back four. I say back four because there wasn't a back four. James Milner out of position. And this is what I mean. You can't blame the guy. But if you're going to play someone left back, they need to do that job. And he wasn't there. He managed to cut inside, get it on his left foot. And he kind of just rolled it into the corner. It was a brilliant finish. Liverpool 2-0 down, like I said. And things just didn't get any better from there. Coutinho had a couple of snapshots. I think he had like 3 that went over the bar. He was getting closer and closer. But they just couldn't break them down. They just couldn't get rolling. They couldn't get playing like they did against Arsenal. So there's a couple of facts that did interest me. Now, Burnley had 3 attempts the whole game. 2 in the first half where they scored and 1 in the second half. You could say that's poor, but they've taken their chances. Liverpool had 13 attempts in the first half and 13 in the second half. I mean, that just sums it up, really. It just shows. If you get a chance in this league, you need to bury him. And Liverpool literally paid the price. That's what I need to say about that. Burnley, well done. 2-0, you move on. Liverpool, will they sign a new left back? We'll have to wait and see. Moving on now, and Swansea obviously played against Hull. Hull coming off the back of that brilliant victory against the champions Leicester the other day. Now, could they repeat themselves and get all 3 points here? The answer to that being yes. They won 2-0. Goals from wasn't Abel Hernandez. Yes, it was. Sean Maloney got 1 and got an assist. If you've got him in your fantasy Premier League team, you're balling now. He had a fantastic game and he wasn't very selfish in the 92nd minute. He passed it along to Abel Hernandez to tap it into an empty net. Apart from the goals that Hull scored, Swansea were very, very unlucky not to get a goal back or even draw the game or maybe even win it. They had a couple of chances for Llorente. Norton had a shot that could have gone anywhere. It was a good shot going into the box and it just went miles high after hitting someone. Sigurdsson hit the crossbar after a great save. And yeah, they were just really unfortunate not to get a goal at least. And Hull have got 6 points now. They've got 2 wins out of 2, beat the champions and they've beat Swansea away. What more can they ask for really at the moment? I mean, I've said I thought they'd get relegated at the start of the season. At the moment, obviously it's early days, very early days, but they're looking very promising and fair play to them. Now moving on to the team that I support, Tottenham Hotspur. We played Crystal Palace at home. Now in the Premier League preview, I thought that Spurs were going to dominate the game, which they did. But one of those games where you can dominate, you can have chances, but nothing goes your way and you just can't score. So finally Spurs actually got there late on where Kane flicked on a header from a corner and Wanyama, one of those headers where he just jumps up, flicks it on, back of the net. Thank you. On his debut as well. Fair play Wanyama. Kane getting me those points for my fantasy team. That assist, and was triple captain as well. It was one of those games where we had more goal attempts, just more shots in general, more fouls, even more offsides, most possession. Literally, Palace couldn't get near us, but the longer the game went on, it was still 0-0. I was getting worried, but finally what happened, they brought Dele Alli on. Dele Alli's first touch, honestly, the ball played through defence, Janssen through on goal. All he had to do was probably a little dink over the keeper. He dinked it over the keeper, but it went quite wide, unfortunately. But he should be burying that. From what I saw of Janssen though over the weekend, he was brilliant on the ball. He's good at holding it up. He makes runs into the channels. He's got a good attacking mindset. He knows where the goal is. Obviously he got a lot of goals last season, and it won't be long until he gets going in the Premier League. I can assure you of that. There was this little clip that I needed to play you. I'll try and find it and pop it here for you. Eric Lamela, naughty little nutmeg. I couldn't tell you who it was on, but if you look in the background, Danny Rose's reaction where he puts his hands on his head like this. Oh, it was absolutely filthy. Eric Lamela, fair play. That's going to be on Soccer AM, that one. So yeah, that's about that. Sorry Palace, they didn't make anything worth talking about there. The shot from Kabay from about 30 yards, which went quite wide. They've obviously signed Balassi, but he didn't get to play yesterday. Townsend returned to White Hart Lane, and that was probably the best cheer that they got all afternoon. And like I said, it's brilliant to see Wanyama get going. He said he's settled into the club already, which is brilliant to hear. It's great for the fans to hear, because that's what the fans love. If the players said they're settled in, it means they're happy. And if they're happy, they're playing good football. And if they're playing good football, the fans are happy. If that even makes sense. Let's just get on to the next game because I'm waffling again. Moving on to the game where I got the score prediction absolutely correct, and that is Watford against Chelsea. Obviously Chelsea went there expecting to get a result. I thought they were going to go there and win. It didn't work out that way for most of the game. Etienne Capoue chested it down in the 18-yard box and let fly an absolute screamer with his left foot. That put them 1-0 up for most of the game. Didn't think Chelsea were going to end up coming back after I saw that. So Chelsea were pressing, there were a lot of chances, and unfortunately it just ended up being too much for Watford. Hazard had a shot from about 25 yards. It got fumbled aside by the keeper, and there was, watch my pronunciation, Michy Batshuayi, one of them. Tucked it home into an empty net to get him started for the season, and that was 1-0 in the 80th minute. And now this is where I'm thinking, oh God, Chelsea, last 10 minutes, it's going to happen. And wasn't I right? Just before the 87th minute, Fabregas picks the ball up inside his own half, in between the halfway line and the box. Plays literally the most perfect ball all the way through to Diego Costa. I think he takes one touch to position himself through on goal, and he pops it through the keeper's legs. 87th minute, 2-1 Chelsea. That was the full-time result. But there's another but in this game, and it's Diego Costa yet again. He's still on the pitch. He's still on the pitch again. How? Refs, if they're going to be doing it in other games, they've got to do it in these sort of games. He dived, already being on a yellow card from dissent, I think it was. Having a go at the ref, it wouldn't surprise me. So Diego Costa, being Diego Costa, he's on a booking for arguing with the ref. Fair enough. Like I said, if they're going to do that throughout the season, they need to stick to that. I don't think anyone should be swearing at any refs. It's not fair for the ref. He just wants to do his job, manage the players on the pitch. He doesn't want players saying, you know, in his face. So at this point, Chelsea are 1-0 down. And obviously a lot of you guys are going to be like, why are you hating on Chelsea? I don't care. This could have been any player. It's just the fact it's bloody Costa. Like, this could happen to any player in the Premier League, and I would still be bloody fuming about it, because you don't try and cheat the ref. You're 1-0 down, yes, but it doesn't mean you try and bloody dive to win a decision. It just winds me up. So Chelsea are 1-0 down. Diego Costa's outside the box. He tries playing the ball outside. It hits a player, rebounds back to him, and as you try and see here, if I can get the clip, I'm sure I have because I wouldn't stand aside, you can see he goes arse over tit without being touched. And it's frustrating to see, because that's 2 weeks now where arguably he could have been sent off in both games, and for him still being on the pitch means Fabregas can send him through on goal to score the winner. So let me know your thoughts on that. Should he have been sent off? Because I think he should have. And he'll know himself he won't do it again. He won't try and win a free kick or a penalty or change the outcome of a game, which seems to be what he seems to do. I don't know how he does it. How do refs bottle it? Why do they bottle it? Is it because he looks 50 years old? He's not that scary. Just show him a card and he's gone. Moving on to West Brom against Everton, where Everton went into that game obviously off the back of that 1-1 draw against Spurs, and West Brom went into the game off of their 1-0 victory against Crystal Palace. This game was very end-to-end. I was just watching some of the highlights over on Match of the Day. End-to-end, corner got whipped in the 9th minute, and Macaulay Rose stuck it in from a Craig Gardner corner. Morales scored just before half-time with an excellent goal. Literally, it was like tic-a-tac football. Morales from a tight angle into the far post. Ben Foster couldn't save it. Excellent goal. They got the 2-1 victory with another corner that came in. Holgate had a volley, hit the floor, bounced up, and Barry was at the far post to header it in. I mean, his 100th appearance for Everton. Fair play to him. He's been one of those players that I actually couldn't even believe was still around. I actually thought he bloody retired. Now, I do believe Everton deserved to win this game, whether it be 3-1 or 4-1. It could have easily been if it wasn't for a great save from Ben Foster from a free kick, header from Funes Mores. tipped wide. And also Lukaku from a pass from Balassi. He should score. He's like 12 yards out. Should be scoring. Great save again by Foster. And obviously Foster, last minute of the game, ball's whipped in from McLean and it's headed away. Foster, last kick of the game, it just goes wide. You actually never see that. You very rarely see keepers score. Like, you never see keepers really actually touch the ball when they go up. Everyone just buzzes when they're going up because it means they've left their goal. But he had the last kick of the game. Could have gone anywhere. It just went wide and Everton walked away with a 2-1 win. Fully deserved in my opinion. Now we head over to Leicester against Arsenal. What a brilliant game that was. Loads of cracking goals, 0-0. With plenty of talking points. We're going to start with obviously Arsenal. They had plenty of chances. They just couldn't score. They had a goal that was obviously offside from Theo Walcott. Chamberlain had a shot that went wide. Kasper Schmeichel had a save from a free kick that Lloris conceded against Everton. One of them from a free kick where it goes all the way through everyone. But Schmeichel tipped it around the post. You had Theo Walcott cutting inside from an acute angle and try firing one across the keeper like Mane did against Arsenal a few weeks ago, last week. Ozil didn't start, neither did Giroud. I thought Giroud was going to start. What do I know? There was another chance where Ozil played a 1-2 and got played through. Quite a tough angle and it got saved again by Kasper Schmeichel. Schmeichel had a good game, to be fair. He saved everything. He only made a couple of mistakes, but they were further up the pitch from him throwing it and it was just coming back quickly. Other than that, he had a pretty solid game. Moving on to Leicester. Now, where do we start? They had 2 penalty appeals. One being Danny Drinkwater getting brought down by Laurent Koscielny, which I would say was a penalty where I was watching it. I was watching the game, I thought he got taken down, clear penalty. I thought he was going to point to the spot, but he didn't. And when you look at it close up, it doesn't actually look like there's massive contact. Koscielny actually looks like he does get the ball, but it's one of those situations where all the fans, they think it is. It looks like a clear-cut penalty, but when you're watching it back, it was a good decision because it does look like Koscielny actually did clip the ball. Before we speak about the other penalty chance, which was obviously a lot further on into the game, Leicester just couldn't get going. They just couldn't get on the score sheet. Vardy had a couple of chances. There was one where he was through and goal, blazed it over the crossbar. Mahrez, a bit of trickery just outside the box, won himself a free kick, just put it over the crossbar. Czech probably would have saved it. But it just looked like Leicester just couldn't get going. They just couldn't find that spark that they had last season, you know, when they were soaking up all the pressure, because Arsenal had a lot of chances. They could have easily gone 1-0 up, maybe even 2, if it wasn't for Schmeichel. Now onto the main talking point of this game. Musa came on in the 87th minute. Why he didn't come on any earlier? Because Vardy and Mahrez, obviously the main 2 attacking threats, didn't have the best of games. So he came on late. He's down near the corner flag. He's done a little bit of trickery to cut inside to get past Bellerin. Now as he steps inside, I'll try and show you the clip. He gets brought down. You could argue his leg comes inside on purpose. He's looking for that penalty, but nevertheless it happens. Bellerin's leg gets tucked inside in between his legs. Bloody hell, I keep saying legs. But the penalty looked clear as day. I feel like it should have been given. I imagine a lot of you feel like it should have been given. Clattenburg was standing just over to the right hand side as well, so he had perfect view of it. Surely it's only a matter of time before Leicester get going. It's only going to be questionable whether teams actually realise that they like playing that over the top ball to Jamie Vardy, because at the end of the day he hasn't got skills. He's not amazing in the air. He's just literally runs onto those balls and tucks them away. The amount of them that he scored last season. So whether he'll do that again this season, we'll have to wait and see. Now moving on to the first game on Sunday, which was a 1/2 kickoff between Sunderland and Middlesbrough, the Teesweird derby. It was one of those games, it was very end-to-end. It was actually more interesting than I thought it was going to be. Sorry if I'm being a bit harsh on any Sunderland or Borough fans, but I wasn't expecting what I saw. It was actually a really good game to watch. Obviously, the home team Sunderland went into this game wanting to get their first victory of the season after losing to Manchester City 2-1. And Middlesbrough, on the other hand, going into the game drawing 1-0 against Stoke. So neither side had tasted victory. And Middlesbrough got a new signing called Stuani, some Uruguayan I'd never personally heard of. I'd imagine a lot of you had never heard of. Until the 13th minute, where the ball gets passed around to him just outside the box. He kind of makes the chance himself. The ball's stuck underneath his foot, and he lets an absolute belter fly. I'll try and find it because it was an absolute screamer into the top left-hand corner, one of them where the keeper can't save it. It hits the top of the woodwork and just nestles into that top corner. Like, you can't save those ones. Into that, I was really impressed with Middlesbrough, the way Negredo holds the ball up and the way they just get the ball rolling around the pitch. That Stuani, he looked like he'd been in the Premier League for a long time, and this was his first first 45 minutes. Literally on the 45th minute, ball got played into Negredo from like one of those fake passes where he looks the other way. I can't remember who it was from. But Negredo, he could have shot with his left foot and tucked it home. But no, unselfishly, cut back, defender's gone sliding, he pulls it back to Stuani, who taps it into an empty net. Great finish, going into the break at 2-0. So Sunderland obviously needed to come out fighting in the second half. They needed to get that one goal early on and see if they can maybe grab a second goal. They came out fighting. Van Aanholt had a brilliant shot, tipped wide by Brad Guzan. Absolutely, I feel like it was a world-class save. Got down low, flicked it wide, and then the pressure was just building, and it just ended up being too much for Middlesbrough. I was going to say Villa there because I remember Brad Guzan playing for Villa. Van Aanholt had that little bit of spark and magic where he was getting forward. He's so quick, gets forward, plays the ball into Watmore, who has a shot, just tipped, fumbled by Guzan again, unfortunately. And Van Aanholt was the only player. He ran past like 4 players, tapped it into an empty net, and it was game on in the 70th minute, 2-1. From then on, I honestly thought Sunderland were going to end up getting that second goal, whether it be through Defoe or Van Aanholt, again, the way he gets forward, but it wasn't to be. Even though they had 14 shots in the second half, against Middlesbrough's 3. So that ended up being a victory for Middlesbrough. Well done, Middlesbrough. Moving on to the last game of the weekend, it was West Ham against Bournemouth. Now, West Ham obviously went into that game. First game at the London Stadium, Olympic Stadium, however you want to call it. It's one of the two. Obviously wanting to get the victory, wanting to get the first goal. Now, throughout this game, there was so many different chances where a different team could have taken the lead. There was Toure with the new signing, obviously, with a shot just over the bar with his left foot. Well over the bar, actually. We had Ibe, who just didn't pull the trigger. We had King from a brilliant strike from about 25 yards that got saved by Adrian. It was going in the top right-hand corner. And we also had a bloody red card. So Bournemouth did end up having a player sent off in Harry Arter, getting 2 bookable offences. One in the first half and one in the second. Ball was just about to get whipped into the box and it hit him about here. And he said it hit his chest, had a go at the linesman, and obviously the referee didn't like it, and it was dissent, so he got a booking for that. Which is good to see, because like I've said, you don't want the ref taking shit from any players. Like, why should they? The second bookable offence in the second half, Kouyaté was darting down the line, and Harry Arter just couldn't keep up with him, so just intentionally pulled him back, like they do when they try and catch up with someone, brought him down, yellow card, see you later, mate. From then, you could always feel West Ham were going to be the more dangerous side, and it proved to be that way. Toure, the new signing, whips the ball in. It was absolutely a brilliant cross to the far post. And there was Antonio. He's not playing right back, which I was happy to see. He's headed it in back stick. And obviously that puts them 1-0 up. West Ham fans celebrating like they've just won the league. I'm joking, West Ham fans. It's always nice to win your first game at your new stadium. Hopefully Spurs can do that when they get theirs. Bournemouth had a great chance late on with Joshua King in the 93rd minute. But Adrian was there to make the save. And there was a couple of great blocks just to stop the ball getting anywhere near the goal. West Ham take away that 1-0 victory, their first game at the new stadium, and hopefully they don't win any more there again. This game was actually really tough to record because both teams were bang average. West Ham obviously after the red card had a few more chances. There was that new Argentinian player that West Ham signed, I can't remember his name. He got played through on goal, lashed it wide. He should be scoring. Obviously they were the better team once the red card had happened. But other than that, not much to say. If you have enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you are watching till the end, comment #TillTheEnd. And oh no, you're one of those loyal viewers. You'll watch this week in, week out, hopefully. Hopefully I don't bore you. Remember, if I do, tweet me about it. Tell me what I've missed. Comment down below any thoughts that I have said in this game. Comment any thoughts I have said in this video. And other than that, I'm going to leave you guys to it. Take care. I'll be back hopefully Thursday or Friday for the next week Premier League preview. There's going to be some interesting games. I haven't actually looked at most of the fixtures, so let me know thoughts on that, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.